Some new stories for you from Ethiopia. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopia-Djibouti road reportedly remained closed for several hours. Fighting was reported near this road. The section of the road which passes through Oromia, it remained closed. Why was it closed? Who fought close to this road? Reportedly, Amhara forces and OLA were involved in the fighting. What happened there? And where was it closed? Secondly, Getachew Reda, a Tigray presidential spokesperson, appeared on Tigray TV a few hours ago. He was interviewed there. We have an important thing to mention regarding his interview, as we have been reporting about mobilization of Ethiopian army, Ethiopian military towards Tigray Amhara borders. What did Getachew Reda say? Did he say that anything big was coming, that Ethiopian government was planning a major attack on Tigray? He spoke about Amhara president and Eritrea as well. Lastly, viewers, I spoke about a splinter group of Oromo Liberation Army last year, if you remember, if you're a regular viewer. The group which introduced itself as OLA, Oromo Liberation Army, was being led by a commander. OLA accused this group of having committed atrocities against Oromos and Amharas. Whenever something happened in central Oromia, like in Horo, Godoro, other parts of central Oromia, government forces blamed it on OLA. OLA blamed it on this rival group. Who was heading this rival group? The commander who was heading this rival group has been captured by Oromo Liberation Army reportedly. Firstly, was Ethiopia-Djibouti road, the main road used for Ethiopian exports and imports, remained closed for hours. We know that Ethiopia is a landlocked country. It relies on Djibouti's ports for its imports and exports. And this road plays a key role. Ethiopia is linked to Djibouti by road and by rail. Almost bulk of Ethiopian imports and exports travel along this road. The road remained closed for hours. Where was it closed? Who closed it? What we have learned is that the section of Ethiopia-Djibouti road which passes through Oromia was closed. Valanchiti-Metehara road, which is part of Ethiopia-Djibouti road, it was closed. It remained closed. It passes through East Shiva zone of Oromia region, where mostly Kareo Oromo elders, Oromos live. Kareo is a subgroup, subtribe of Oromos, and we know that last year some Kareo Oromo elders were killed by government forces. They were accused of being in alliance with Oromo Liberation Army. What happened? Why was this road closed? Reportedly, Amhara forces entered East Shiva zone. This Metehara area, it shares border with two regions. To the north, there is Afar. To the west, there is Amhara region. So this part of Oromia shares border with both Afar and Amhara. And Amhara forces reportedly entered East Shiva zone, Metehara town. We have seen border clashes between Amhara forces and Kareo Oromos in the past as well. Amhara forces entered, clashes happened, then OLA intervened, Oromo Liberation Army, which is now once again a confirmation that Oromo Liberation Army has its presence close to Ethiopia-Djibouti road. We heard about OLA's attempts to close this road in Metihara a few months ago. I did a video on that. Now, once again, a confirmation that OLA has its presence close to Metihara, close to Ethiopia-Djibouti road. So OLA fighters intervened. Then there was exchange of fire between Oromo Liberation Army fighters and Amhara forces, Amhara militias, close to this road, Ethiopia-Djibouti road. That is why the road remained closed for hours. Now, question is, where was Oromia Regional Force when Amhara forces entered there? Why is that OLA responded first? The response should have been from Oromia Regional Government Forces, their special forces. Where were they? Or border security is being ensured by Oromo Liberation Army. It seems that Oromia Regional Forces they have now handed over the responsibility of border security to Oromo Liberation Army. We have seen several border clashes between OLA and Amhara forces in Oromia Amhara border areas. Is it an intentional, deliberate strategy of Oromia regional government that in border areas regional forces do not want to engage Amhara forces, and here they want OLA to engage them? Whatever the strategy is, fighting happened there. Reportedly, Amhara forces have now retreated. They tried to hoist Amhara flag as well in East Shiva, but later they retreated. Road reportedly has been opened, but it remained closed for hours. Again, a confirmation about ongoing border disputes between Amhara and Oromia regions. All over Ethiopia, there are border disputes. Tigray, Amhara, border issues. Amhara, BG, border issues. Amhara, Oromia, border issues. Tigray, Afar, border issues. Then Oromia, NNPR, I think there are some issues. So these border disputes must be resolved once and for all for peace in Ethiopia. Otherwise, these incidents will keep on happening. Secondly, viewers, Getachew Reda, presidential spokesperson of Tigray, appeared on Tigray TV a few hours ago. He was interviewed there. We were waiting for some Tigray top official to speak about the mobilization of Ethiopian government forces towards Tigray. Now we have shared pictures, videos that dozens of buses of ENDF troops have been seen moving towards Tigray borders. We don't know what is the purpose of the mobilization, defensive or offensive. Getachew Reda was interviewed there, but he did not say a word about any imminent attack on Tigray. Had there been some imminent attack on Tigray, Getachew Reda would have spoken during his interview with Tigray TV. He did not say a word. The host, the anchor, did not question about this mobilization, though. Everyone knows about this mobilization. It means that Tigray does not see this mobilization as a threat so far. We have not seen official statement from Tigray government or from Getachew Reda about this mobilization. They are only saying that aid is being blocked. Government is not sincere. They are not saying that forces are on their way to launch a military operation on against Tigray. Secondly, he did speak about Amhara President Yilkal Kifale when host questioned about a statement of Yilkal Kifale that Amhara forces were training, recruiting an ENDF as well. He said that they already had intentions, so it's not something new, and they wanted to sabotage truce. So he said that Amhara politicians and Eritrea, they want to sabotage truce announced by Ethiopian government. He did not say the Ethiopian government is planning a major attack on Tigray. So let's see. That is why we are not giving a final opinion about the purpose of mobilization of Ethiopian army towards Tigray. Lastly, viewers, we know that a rival group of Oromo Liberation Army has been operating in some parts of Oromia, especially in central and western parts of Oromia. Both groups have been involved in fighting in clashes as well. This group is led by Jal Fekede Abdisa. I remember last year I did a video on an attack which happened in Horogodoro zone of Oromia. It was an attack on a church in which several civilians were killed. Back then, government forces, Oromo regional government, accused fighters of Oromo Liberation Army that they were behind the killing of innocent civilians in the church. But OLA accused this group. OLA said that this group was backed by government forces and it was carrying out activities in the name of Oromo Liberation Army. Is this group backed by the government or is it a splinter group of OLA? It's not clear, but both OLA and this group are rival groups. Now, reportedly, Oromo Liberation Army has captured the main commander, the leader of this group. So you can see his picture on your screen. He is Jal Fekede Abdisa. He was leading this Oromo Liberation Army splinter group. Now he has been captured by OLA reportedly, though we have not seen any official statement from OLA, but several sources close to OLA, they are confirming that Jal Fekede Abdisa has been captured by OLA. OLA is seeing it as a major victory. It was difficult to distinguish between OLA fighters and fighters of Jal Fekede Abdisa groups. Both were accusing each other of attacks on civilians. Now, if Jal Fekede Abdisa has been captured by Oromo Liberation Army, it means that it would be easy to identify the perpetrators in case of any attacks on civilians.